Hey coders, want to make your Python programs more interactive? Asking users for input is the key. After watching this video, you will know exactly how to ask for input while avoiding a common mistake. So get familiar with the syntax. We will write the code for the simple program that asks for a user's name and outputs customized greeting message. In the Python, the easiest way to get to user input is to call the input function. To understand what the input function does, let's run the cell. As you can see, the function call created an input box under the cell. At this point, the program is waiting for the user to enter information in the box. This is fine, but without more context, it is hard for the user to know what to input. To prompt the user for a specific input, we can provide a message as an argument to the function. Since we want the user to enter their name, let's pass the string enter your name. Now we run the cell, our prompt is displayed before the input box. Much clearer. Once the user input their name and press enter, the input is displayed in the output box. That's fine. But remember, our program should greet the user by printing hello followed by their name. To create a greeting message, we will first save the return value of the input function to a variable called name. Then we will write a print statement that outputs hello followed by name. Now, when we run the cell, the user is prompted to enter their name and the greeting is printed. Great. In this program, we ask the user to input text, but we can also use the input function to ask for a number. However, when asking for a numeric input, beginners often make a common mistake. Let's see what that mistake is and how to avoid it with another example. This new program will ask the user for two numbers and add them up. For example, to add 1 and 2, we run the cell and enter 1 and 2 as input and get 12. That's okay. What we expected. Why did this happen? We got 12 because the input function always returns the user input as a string. So plus operator concatenate the two variables instead of adding them. We can confirm that these variables are string by using the type function. Number 1 is a string. Luckily, numbers represented as a string can always be converted to integers or float. To avoid working with data of the wrong type, it is good programming practice to immediate cast user input to data type as we exit. For that reason, we will cast the user input to float using the float operator. Now, we can safely assume that both of our number variables are float. When we rerun our code and enter 1 and 2 again, we get 3. Great. Now you know how to collect user input and ensure its right data type. This program will work great as long as user enters numbers, but users direction. This can lead to errors that crash your description. We are working on lots more Python videos like this one. So be sure to subscribe so that you don't miss out. If you found this video helpful, be sure to share it with a friend, and if you have any question or topic that you would like to learn about, please let us know in the comments below. We would love to hear from you. Thanks for watching.